Hey everyone, Jason here, aspiring entrepreneur, back in action. Apologies for no vlogs last week. Was recovering from a cold and also trying to finish up some client proposals and pitches at the same time. So I had a couple of fun sales calls where I literally just kept my hand over the mute button so that whenever I started needing to blow my nose or coughing, I could just mute myself, cough and sniffle, and then jump back into the conversation. It was not a lot of fun, but as most things in retrospect, I can laugh about it now. But today what I wanted to share with you is my 3X rule for client work and also internal processes, because I was really looking at over the weekend, just seeing all of the tasks that didn't get done and how things continue to move forward. And I realized one of the reasons that things, even though I'm still a solopreneur, continue to move forward is, my business partner, of course, was able to pick up the slack on some things, but there were internal things for the channel as well that were able to keep going because I have some people on my team. And so I wanted to share with you how I'm able to be so effective with my time and quickly delegate things. And so this is because I follow the 3X rule, and I kind of just made that up this morning because it sounds pretty cool, but we'll go through it. So whenever you're delivering something, a product or service for a client, or you're doing a repetitive task inside your business, I try and follow this rule where I only do it 3 times, like for a max of 3 times. I think the only exception obviously is like doing a proposal for a client, like sales type stuff where you actually need to build a relationship, or creating content like this, because it would be weird if someone else like jumped on the vlog and started talking for me. That'd just be strange. So with those little exceptions, the first time I go through something, whether it's a new ad account for a client, or it's a new advertising platform, or maybe it's just like learning how to do YouTube SEO, it's a learning process, right? You're going through time number 1, you're learning, you're figuring it out, and you're just getting a feel for that skill. The second time you go through it, you actually want to start documenting how you do it, right? This is kind of a quick little example of what I use Google Drawings, and I try and break it out. You know me, I get really detailed, so I try to break it out in 3 to 5 kind of major phases or steps, and then I start going through what are the major building blocks or pieces that make up each one of those steps. And when I have this clear picture, as I go through the process the second time, I start documenting, right? So you can see all the way back here is the Google Doc where I actually start just typing up like a detailed step-by-step instructions of what I'm doing. And if it's kind of intellectual work, then I add some insight into why I'm making a decision, right? Just think about it I'm going to get a little nerdy here. Think about it like computers and cell phones. Everything is distilled down to a 1 or a 0. And so if you can distill down what you're working on into yes or no decisions, or you look at them as inputs and outputs, then you can really actually quickly make a detailed outline or process of what you're working on. So that's what you do the second time you go through something. Don't try and do that the first time, because I've tried to do it when I'm learning, and then like I'm learning and you keep tweaking everything, and then you don't really know how it turns out. And then the third time you go through that process, or you go through, whatever you're working on, as if you were brand new, and you follow your instructions. You go through the process that you created, and you see where the holes are. You see where, maybe I should add this, or you actually identify places that are inefficient. And then time number 4 should be where you take all that wonderful documentation that you created. Think about it just like instructions for a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, however detailed you think you need to be, and hand it off to a VA or someone else on your team. And if you don't have a team, or the most common objection I get is, I'm just starting, like I don't have a budget for a VA. Well, you know what? You can have a VA for as little as $50 to $100 a month. And actually that's where the majority of my cash went when I was still working at the agency. All of my dollars went to assistants to do those types of tasks, to do those types of work, because as an entrepreneur and business owner, you're supposed to be the entrepreneur and business owner. You're not supposed to be the business operator. I think that's something that's really easy to forget, that just because we're the business owner doesn't mean we have to operate every little piece of what we're doing. And so that's actually what I spent yesterday on. Yesterday was Monday. And then all of today on is going through that second time and documenting this process. And that way, when we get client 5, 6, and 7, I'm not having to do all of these little bitty pieces of tasks or work, getting the ad account set up, or doing the Google Analytics audit, or whatever else, we're doing, or even with this channel, most of the SEO writing and the thumbnails and the playlists and the uploads, that's handled by somebody else because they do a much better job with it. They they can pay much better attention to detail, and then I can just focus on making more videos. So I hope that was helpful. I know it's not like super cool. I think last time we were talking about Google and Apple like blocking webinars. I know from analytics perspective, you guys really seem to like those videos, but this stuff is just as important, if not more important, because this is how you're going to free up your time so you can work on other things in your business, so you can be more productive and spend more time either creating content so you can bring in new customers and clients, or so you can spend more time in optimizing your sales funnel or getting on the phone and closing new clients. So I hope you found that actionable and enjoyable. We're going to be back into the usual grind of a couple vlogs a week. I think I said that I was going to do 3, and I've been terrible. I've only done 2, but that's because I got sick and it like took me out a week and a half. So thank you so much for watching and all of your support. As always, go ahead and comment below if you have any questions or suggestions for other vlogs. I'm literally just documenting what I'm working on as I build out all of these new client accounts. And until the next vlog, keep building the business you love.